Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here in Foley Square. We're coming at it a different way because we just stopped and asked mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani some questions about NYPD. You can find that on our live. But we're heading in to cover the various trials inside the SDNY and also Sean Combs' 2 p.m. Appearance in court in the run-up to his May trial. He wants 300 prospective jurors. He wants a questionnaire. We'll be following that at 2. But before then, the Mahmoud Khalil, we also have to have an update on. There was an amended declaration by respondent Joyce yesterday saying that Mahmoud Khalil was spotted on the sidewalk and then arrested in the foyer of this Columbia building. I'm not sure what the distinction is, and we'll find out, I'm sure, in due course in terms of the briefing. The Zohran Mamdani thing was largely about Mahmoud Khalil, so you can check that out. He's also sued Columbia to not, I believe, release student disciplinary records in response to a subpoena signed by a Manhattan federal magistrate. Could it be Mr. Lehrberger? We're going to check it out. We're heading straight in there. The Iran murder trial it seems that victim 1, Masih al-Nijad, won't testify until Monday. That's at least what some of the attorneys in the case were saying. But there yesterday, the cooperator and AK-47 man, Mediev, was cross-examined at some length about that day in Brooklyn and running around with a gun. The defense attorney for Umarov said, wasn't it a heavy gun? And he said, not for me, not heavy for me. Anyway, let's head to court now. We're also covering the RICO trial of Kevin Perez, a.k.a. K-Flock. Yesterday, a second cooperator was put on the stand by the prosecutors, a man named Xavier Rosado. Now, apparently, he's cooperating on a federal case, but when you plug in Rosado Xavier into the PACER for SDNY, nothing comes up. He was convicted in state court of a murder on Prospect and 187th Street of Nazi Sanchez in 2021. He got 18 years for that. Apparently, he thinks and believes that by cooperating in this federal case against K-Flock, he will reduce the state sentence. And I'm not sure how that works. We're just covering this case as close as we can, What else do we got? The United Nations? Yeah, sure. Amid questions raised to them about, people thought somehow it was funny, like, does the UN work with totalitarian or dictatorial states? I mean, I think it's a fair question. If global taxers pay it in, they have a right to transparency. Be aware of this. The UN, for all this, the talk about transparency, the UN has no Freedom of Information Act. And not only that, honestly, when Inner City Press was inside the UN, we were the ones most asking about finances. In fact, they were like, why are you asking about money? You must be, because it's taxpayer money. They don't want to answer questions. And they should answer questions. And they should also allow the press back in to ask the questions, since they won't answer them by email. Now, we have some photographers up ahead at SDNY. Maybe Miss al-Nijad is coming today. We haven't had this kind of, it's for Sean Combs, I get it. Combs, of course, won't come in through this gate, but his attorneys will. And I guess that's what these cameras are for. We'll turn it around and end it here. Here we are, SDNY, to be continued, Inner City Press.